Good morning. I'm Marlon Lavenhar.
And I'm Nicole Kirk, and welcome to All Souls on this rainy day.
Yes, and we also want to welcome those who are visiting us online from around the country and around the world, and even our new members online. It's great to have you with us.
If you're agnostic, if you're a non-believer, whoever you love, wherever you came from, we want to welcome you here, and we want to especially welcome our first-time visitors this morning. If you are a first-time visitor, if you raise up your hand to let us know that you're here, we have a gift for you, and our ushers are coming up the aisles to share that gift.
There you go.
And after our time together this morning, if you meet us across the foyer in the library, there'll be a greeter there to answer your questions.
Wonderful, and I think I found Waldo. I love all the costumes and everything. Really wonderful, exciting, great. Thank you for being here and all dressed up. What a beautiful, beautiful morning, and I hope that if you're visiting, you'll meet us in the Sonnen Library afterwards so we can greet you. What's that?
I said you shouldn't be proud of that joke.
All right. I know. Dad jokes. As we begin our service together, so this is the point service for those who are new. It's a very special service for us, a time where people of all different beliefs, non-beliefs, seekers of all kinds come together. And we begin by saying our covenant, which is the promise that binds this community together, because we don't have a central belief or a creed that we ask everybody to ascribe to. Instead, we have a promise that we make about how we're going to live our lives together as a community. So if you will join me in saying those words printed in your program, and I think also up on the screen, it begins with love. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Welcome to All Souls, where we love beyond belief. All right, and with that, I want to introduce, because we have a very special guest with us, or a number of guests with us, but a guest speaker. I'm honored to welcome my beloved colleague, the Reverend Jacqueline Brett, who is here from the Unitarian, Yes, thank you. Eno River Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Durham, North Carolina. And Reverend Brett came with a team of leaders from her community. We have, Reverend Jim. Where's Reverend Jim, who's going to tell our children's story in just a moment. We're so glad to have Jim Lewis with us from her team. We also have, is Michael in this service as well? Their membership development person, Michael, who is not in the service now. And then if you'll come forward, Reverend Daniel Trollinger is going to light our chalice, and he is the executive minister on this team. And so they have just a fabulous team, and they've spent the week with us, and they have been learning from us and also sharing what they've been doing. It's a large church there in Durham, and not quite as large as All Souls, but they want to be. They're looking ahead, and so they wanted to see how we do things. And it's just been such a joy to have you with us. Thank you.
We light our chalice, a small spark in a large universe that's sometimes brutal and overwhelming, and still there is light. Outside us, within us, brightly shining from the darkness, a reminder that love lives within us and among us, and that love is greater than fear, greater than evil. May this small light encourage us to move forward in the ways of love.
Good morning, y'all. And a good morning it is. Even with rain, you can feel the sun. So we're going to have a little time for all ages today. A little story about a journey, as the sermon later will be about a journey. We learn many things on a journey sometimes in a moment where we get to be in a different way for a time. This particular journey is a little rumbly, a little tumbly. There's a little bit of fear in it, which the children in religious exploration might explore later. It might be different than Reverend Jacqueline's journey today. But our main character named Musa is going to learn some things. So we start with the Dala Dala. The Dala Dala rumbled and roared, and Musa and Dada were off to the shore to feast on fish at the Friday bazaar by the blue crystal waters of Zanzibar. Soon after zooming past Zukala Street, they saw one old man with his bike and no seat. So the driver honked, pulled to the side, and asked, "Dear brother, do you need a ride? It's hotter than peppers out there in the sun. Come in, there's room for everyone." Here in Tulsa, you probably know what it's like to be hotter than peppers out in the sun. Maybe not this weekend, but you know. "But Dada," said Musa, "I don't think there is enough room for that man and that cycle of his." "Don't worry, Musa, there's space galore. If you move just a bit, we can make room for more." So in came the man with his sweaty old feet, and his bike with no bell and no light and no seat. And after some wiggles and giggles and fun, they made enough room for everyone. Next, they passed the Bagala boats, and a herder appeared with 2 little goats. So the Dala Dala pulled to the side, and the driver yelled, "Do you need a ride? It's hotter than peppers out there in the sun. Come in, there's room for everyone." "But Dada," said Musa, "can there really be enough room for a cycle, 2 goats, and me?" "Of course there is. If we squeeze a bit, we'll make enough room for us all to fit." And though the seating arrangements was tight, Musa could see that Dada was right. After a shuffle, a squirm, and a squeeze, they found a small space beside Dada's knees. Onward they went with a honk and a toot, till vendors appeared with 3 baskets of fruit. So they pulled to the side, and as you can guess, Musa cried out and began to protest. "Mangoes and melons and parachichi, we don't have the space, please listen to me." But up came the baskets of tropical fruits, and down dripped the juices on ankles and boots. Everyone wiggled and giggled galore, till somehow they carved out a space on the floor. Do you notice all the wiggling and giggling that's happening? Little bits of community in here. Onward they puttered past palms and sails, till a farmer appeared with 4 shiny pails, filled with milk all the way to the top. So the Dala Dala came to a stop. "We can't, we mustn't, I do not see where he could possibly sit," Musa cried in despair. But the passengers wiggled, and somewhere, somehow, they made space for the farmer and milk from his cow. Thanks goodness, not the cow, too. The Dala Dala drove past some farms till they saw 5 mamas with fish in their arms. So the conda stuck his head outside, yelling, "Sisters, hello, do you need a ride?" "No," cried Musa, "this rickety bench has no room for those fish and their ickety stench." But the passengers wiggled and squished on the floor and made enough room for the ride to the shore. We're heading to the beach. Are you all ready? 6 minutes later, a farmer was walking with 6 stinky chickens that wouldn't stop squawking. And right there beside them were several fellas carrying 7 Katenge umbrellas. "Hop in," someone shouted. "Get out of the sun. There's plenty of room for everyone." You see how now the community's in on it? They're all like welcoming the people in too. Musa resisted. "These chickens are fat, and 7 umbrellas, there's no room for that." Dada insisted, "Just open the door." So everyone wiggled and giggled galore, and eventually found enough room for more. Here's a turning point. Soon they were making a turn down the lane where a vendor was carrying 8 sugar canes and 9 tender coconuts fresh off the tree. What yummy, refreshing, sweet drinks these could be. The passengers shouted, "Do you need a ride?" And as you can guess, Musa worried and cried. "This is outrageous. We can't let them in. We're already smushed like sardines in a tin." Though it was clearly a very tight fit. They wouldn't give up. No, they just wouldn't quit. So in came the coconuts, tender and sweet, and the sugar canes tangled between people's feet, tickling everyone's toes as they wiggled, until even Musa started to giggle. A few minutes later, they stopped for fuel, which happened to be near a diving school, where 10 divers were ready to go with suits and gear and tanks in tow, trying to get in on all the commotion so they could explore the Indian Ocean. But was there enough room for their stuff? Did the Dala Dala have room enough? What do you think? You think so? We're going to see. And though the Dala Dala was packed from top to bottom and front to back, Musa yelled out, "Musa, come join the fun. We'll make enough room for everyone." So the swimmers with snorkels and tubes and fins wiggled and giggled and wriggled right in. Doesn't that Dala Dala look full? The tires were reeling and spinning and burning, the passengers sweating and twisting and turning, elbow to shoulder, beak to nose, feathers to feet and udders to toes. What a sight to see, what a comical crew, stuck together like globbity glue. They clunkety-clunked like junk in a trunk, so close to a breakdown, kerplunkety plunk. When suddenly all of them heard a screech. Alhamdulillah, they'd arrived at the beach. Out came 10 swimmers with snorkels and fins who ran to the ocean and dove right on in. Out came 9 coconuts, fresh and tender, and out came the whistling coconut vendor. Out came 8 sticky, sweet sugar canes with 7 umbrellas for sunshine and rains, 6 stinky chickens and 5 piles of fish, 4 heavy pails full of milk so delish, 3 big old baskets of fruit for a treat, 2 little goats, and 1 bike with no seat. At last, they had finally reached the blue crystal waters of Nungwi Beach, where Musa and Dada and everyone could wiggle and giggle under the sun. May your journey bring you understandings. May your journey help you find new ways of being and new ways of being in community. And with that, may the children and youth follow Miss Shannon or Miss Bumbles off to religious exploration.
As our children and bumblebees and all kinds of creatures make their way to Sunday school. Would the new members who are here to be recognized, please come forward for our new member recognition. I think there's 10 or 12 or 14 of you. Come on forward and come on up there. Yeah. All right. Come on up, man. Good to see you. Just kind of stand here. We're gonna make a semicircle. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Just perfect. Yeah, just turn around. You guys, we're just gonna make a semicircle kind of thing. Yeah, perfect. Yes. Come on up, my friend. Good to see you, brother. Just there you go. Oh, look at you. I love it. Oh, beautiful. So I have to tell you, there was a young man in a hot dog suit in the last service, but he wasn't a new member. I would have loved to have been able to do this ritual with a hot dog, but you all look fantastic.
We have Mrs. Frazzle, I think.
Yes, we do appreciate that. Today we formally welcome you into the covenant of love and service, which is All Souls. And so I ask you, will you, new members, honor our covenant to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another? If so, please say, I will. I will. Beautiful.
And will the congregation, will us gathered here, please rise in body or spirits. Members of All Souls, as our community grows, do you reaffirm your commitment to the covenant of love and service that binds us together? If so, please say, we do. We do. And will you welcome these new members into our community? Strive to dwell with them in peace, support their search for truth and love, and help them when they are in need? If so, please say, I will.
All right, well, let us all remember that our covenant is a promise that we strive to live out together. It's a practice that we do each week and each time that we meet together. So I ask you, when you falter or fail in living out our covenant, will you take responsibility to seek forgiveness and to begin again in love? If so, please say, I will. Beautiful. We're all sort of recovenanted in this process. The congregation may be seated while we welcome these new members each individually. Please state your name. Patrick, I welcome you into the family of All Souls. May your eyes see beauty, may your lips speak truth, may your heart know love, and may your hands do the good works of this world all the days of your life.
Please state your name. Shannon. Welcome to the family of All Souls. May your eyes see beauty, may your lips speak truth, may your heart know love, and may these hands do the good works of this world for all the days of your life.
Please state your name. Lonnie, welcome into the family of All Souls. May your eyes see beauty, may your lips speak truth, may your heart know love, and may your hands do the good works of this world all the days of your life.
Please state your name. Matthew Harris, welcome to the family of All Souls. May your eyes see beauty, may your lips speak truth, may your heart seek love, and may your hands do the good works of this world for all the days of your life.
Please state your name. Paige, may your eyes see beauty, may your lips speak truth, may your heart know love, and may your hands do the good works of this world all the days of your life. Welcome into the family of All Souls.
Please state your name. Latoya, welcome to the family of All Souls. May your eyes see beauty, may your lips speak truth, may your heart know love, and may your hands do the good works of this world for all the days of your life.
Please state your name.
Christopher.
Christopher, welcome into the family of All Souls. May your eyes see beauty, may your lips speak truth, may your heart know love, and may your hands do the good works of this world all the days of your life.
Please state your name. Zach, welcome to the family of All Souls. May your eyes see beauty, may your lips speak truth, may your heart know love, and may your hands do the good works of this world for all the days of your life.
Please state your name.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, welcome into the family of All Souls. May your eyes see beauty, may your lips speak truth, may your heart know love, and may your hands do the good works of this world all the days of your life.
Please state your name. Dion, welcome to the family of All Souls. May your eyes see beauty, may your lips speak truth, may your heart know love, and may your hands do the good works of this world for all the days of your life.
Please state your name. Andrew. Andrew, welcome into the family of All Souls. May your eyes see beauty, may your lips speak truth, may your heart know love, and may your hands do the good works of this world all the days of your life.
Please state your name. Shelley. Shelley, welcome to the family of All Souls. May your eyes see beauty, may your lips speak truth, may your heart know love, and may your hands do the good works of this world for all the days of your life.
All right, you are the last one of this amazing group of people. Please state your name.
Yasmin.
Yasmin, welcome into the family of All Souls. May your eyes see beauty, may your lips speak truth, may your heart know love, and may your hands do the good works of this world all the days of your life.
May you dare to speak the truth. May you know your power to act. May love be your guide. May you walk with hand held high. May your heart praise earth and sky. May you see life's gift to you. May love be your guide, your guide. Amen. May love be your guide.
And that is what we hope. May love be your guide. Let's welcome all these new members. What a wonderful group of new members of All Souls. Come on. Come on.
For the last few weeks, we've been singing what is becoming known as the All Souls Song. And we hope that you will sing along. We're happy to have John Burns, of course, with Riley Kern. He's going to sing the third verse, and then you'll come in on the chorus. I hope you do. Will you do that?
We gather not as strangers, but kin by will and grace. We are builders, dreamers, keepers of this sacred open place. We are hands that lift the fallen. We are arms that open wide. We are mercy in the shadows. We are light that will not hide. When the road has left you weary, in the shelter here is peace. In this house of love unending, every burden finds its peace. We build this house on hope and flame. With every heart we call by name. Through open doors the world will see. Love makes us strong and sets us free. We rise together, we rise. We rise.
John is not only a great singer, but a wonderful leader in this congregation. And so I asked him to come up and speak. You know, some of you know, we commissioned that song to be written for our pledge drive so that we could raise money and raise right now pledges, you know, commitments for 2026, which is what we're doing right now. And so we asked John to say a few words about why he supports All Souls, and I hope he inspires you to do the same.
Thank you, Mom. Good morning, beautiful people.
Good morning.
My name is John Burns, and I've been a member of All Souls for 15 years. And during that time, I've facilitated numerous classes, worked with our youth, served on the investment committee, worked with student ministers through our preaching practicum, sung in the choir, and currently I sit on the board of trustees. I'm honored to be a part of this community. Our beloved Reverend Barbara Prose once told me, "This is indeed a day we have not made." And I wholeheartedly agree. What she meant was that something beyond our individual power has created this day. This church was not built by us alone. There's something greater than us that connects us all and has formed this church. And simply put, that something is our great covenant. It transcends our individual selves, and I believe it is a higher power. Over the years, this covenant has manifested itself to me as unwavering support and gentle care in the form of our leadership, the various groups I've been a part of, and for me, especially the music program. This church has stood by me during a difficult divorce and was there for me when I found and married my beautiful wife, who's volunteering downstairs at the moment. My children have grown up here, and quite honestly, I have grown up here over the last 15 years. Today, I'm here to explain why I give each year. It's very simple. My pledge is not just a financial commitment. It's a pledge to be in this covenant with all of you. I make this pledge because I believe that the space we create and support together is crucial for our covenant, this higher power to be lived and experienced. Now, I hope you'll join my family in pledging this year. We'll also be increasing our pledge by 10%. I invite you all to do the same, please, so that this community can continue to thrive and live out the meaning of our great covenant together. Now, today's the final day to pick up your pledge letter in Emerson Hall. Those that aren't picked up today will be sent in the mail. Please make sure to make your commitment by November 9th. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John, and thank you, everyone who's been so generous. They've been wonderful pledges coming in, and we're so grateful. We're looking forward to a wonderful year in 2026. A lot's going to be happening in our world in 2026, and in our country and in our state. And we are fortunate to have this place and these people to go through that journey together. At this time, I just want to take a moment before we hear a little more music and a wonderful message from my beloved colleague, Reverend Brett. I just want us to take a moment to kind of settle into not just our seats, but to settle into ourselves, to settle into our hearts, to feel our bodies in the world, that we came from the earth like all the other creatures, and we're alive now, animated with this spirit of life. And it's a pretty miraculous thing. And we don't have it forever. We have it for whatever period of time we have the energy to be alive and the consciousness to think. Sometimes we have the energy to be alive longer than we have minds to remember it. So if you're here and you can hear my voice and you can remember where you are in time and space, I hope you remember that you're alive right now in this moment from the earth into the miracle of consciousness. It's incredible, and we share it together. I hope you feel that and hold that and give thanks. With that, I wanted to lift up a few members of our community. I'm thinking particularly of our youth director, Corey Smith, and his wife, Missy. Missy's mother passed away on Friday, Janie Rice, and we're thinking of them and sending them our love. We're also thinking of the family of Judy Wilder, a member here for many, many years, who passed away on October 6th in Portland, Oregon, where she had moved. We also are thinking of all those who are from this community, who sit in these pews or are with us online, who are in the hospital today, on hospice, or in any state of unbalance. And we're thinking of them and sending our love that they will feel the balance that we offer. Also, I'm thinking of member David Olson, his wife Carol Olson, because we will be celebrating the life of David, who passed away in August, on Thursday, right here at 1 o'clock. So if you know David and Carol, we welcome you. She would love to have as many people to celebrate his life as possible at 1 o'clock Thursday. And I was looking out and I saw longtime member, 41-year member of All Souls, who has moved to Minnesota but is back today. I thought I saw Jane Newman. There you are in the back. Jane Newman is back. Welcome home to you, Jane, for this Sunday. And I see you're with your beloved Barbara, who's there too. Barbara from Minnesota. We're so glad to have you both with us today. Let's take a moment in silence together just to appreciate being alive and appreciate this moment, appreciate that we're in community with some new members. All they did was an incredible group of new members who have joined our community in the last few months. Please, if you see somebody with a yellow rose in their hand after the service, say hello, say welcome, say we're so glad you're with us. Now let's take a moment of silence to feel the joy of being alive. Unity. You can open your eyes. If you close your eyes, that's a thick silence. That's a pregnant silence. That's a silence that's filled with love beyond belief. Thank you.
Thomas Williams.
Good morning. It's so good to see you all. You know, in between the services, Marlon warned me that this was a quiet service and not to have expectations, that there's so much energy in this room, and I am so glad to be in the middle of it. So thank you for just bringing your full selves and all of your energy here. And so on behalf of myself and the Reverends Daniel Trollinger and Jim Lewis, who read the story, and Michael Gilbert Singletary, who is our Director of Membership Development at the Eno River UU Fellowship, I extend a deeply heartfelt word of gratitude and appreciation from each of us to Reverends Marlon and Randy and Nicole and to David and the rest of the staff here, the board, and many others among you who we met, some of you who were new members that we met this week. I appreciate all of your kindness and your hospitality and the generous gifts of your time, your information, your wisdom and fellowship that you have shared with us, some of which I'll say more about in a few moments. So I began working at Eno River 13 years ago. I was not yet a minister then, and I was still learning what Unitarian Universalism meant in practice. So one day I noticed, pinned on the staff break room bulletin board, a front page New York Times article about the new phenomenon of UU congregations remaining open year-round. The piece explained that it had been a common practice for UU congregations to lock their doors in summer as ministers and the congregation dispersed for vacation. Quite frankly, this astonished me. Never in my born days had I heard of a church closing down because people were on summer vacation. What sort of places were these UU congregations, I wondered? And that the story was not only on the front page of the New York Times, but was above the fold, was itself instructive in how important somebody thought this was. It marked a shift in religious life for these congregations, evidently, that there would be continuity rather than seasonal absence, presence rather than pause. Now, I have to interject something for some of you younger folk here whose news has rarely, if ever, come from a printed newspaper. That above the fold refers to the important stories that appear in the upper part of the newspaper when it's folded in half horizontally. So at Eno River, we never practiced summer shutdown, but later as a minister, I, myself, learned why extended breaks are nonetheless vital. By late spring, many ministers, especially those of us who serve large congregations, are often crispy from our sustained labors throughout the year. So what has been wonderfully unique about this year for me is that my summer break extended into an additional 3-month period of sabbatical, which has meant that I've been away from July 1st and will return on December 1st. The UU Ministers Association recommends a sabbatical roughly every 4 years because the shelf life of the average minister can be as short as 5 years, most often due to burnout. I love quoting the author Alex Sujung Kim Pang, who writes in his classic book, Rest, that the word workaholic came about as a study conducted by Duke University of Methodist ministers. Workaholic, y'all. Sabbatical and Sabbath share a root with the Hebrew word Shabbat. It means to cease, to desist, to rest. In the Hebrew scriptures, Genesis tells us that God finished the work and rested on the seventh day. Exodus repeats that God rested and was refreshed. The author Jane Bernard points out that the Hebrew word that is often translated as refreshed literally reads as, and God exhaled. Imagine creation itself breathing in and then breathing out. Inhalation and exhalation in the cadence of making and then letting be. We cannot inhale if we do not exhale. We cannot create unless we rest. In ancient agricultural contexts, a sabbatical rhythm extended even to the land itself. It was known as the Shemitah, a fallow year every 7th year when the field rested and debts might be forgiven. These practices taught a society that had recently been emancipated from slavery, that life could and must allow for pauses, for rest. They recognized that endless productivity, endless work without reprieve produces neither justice nor wholeness. In 1988, the feminist and writer Audre Lorde, who was confronting a second diagnosis of cancer, wrote words that many of us know today and that reverberate among us today. She said, "Caring for myself is not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation. And that is an act of political warfare." So while that line is often quoted these days and sometimes even flattened into a trendy slogan, it's because it holds a resonance that seems to make sense, though I do not believe that most people truly know what Lorde was referring to, unless they also knew that she was a Black lesbian who had received a diagnosis that would mean her swift demise, unless one knew that she referred not to an excess of pampering herself, though that would have been just fine and probably well needed, but she was referring to the very preservation of the identities that existed at the intersection of her very being in the world, and that itself was a political act. 20 years before Lorde, the Trappist monk Thomas Merton wrote to a young colleague, "To allow oneself to be carried away by a multitude of conflicting concerns, to surrender to too many demands, to commit oneself to too many projects is to succumb to violence." Take that in for a minute. Different contexts, different identities, and both these ancestors, wisdom teachers, express the same insistence that care and rest are moral and spiritual imperatives. And even still, our modern marketplace has commodified self-care and rest into a multi-billion-dollar industry with beauty and grooming products, retreats and spa treatments, classes, and even apps that offer us quick fixes. And this is not what Lorde or Merton proposed, nor what the communities most greatly in need of radical self-care and sustainable nurturing and rest can access or afford. However, the deeper need beneath all those marketed comforts is actually quite profound if you think about it. It speaks to the simple capacity that we're all in need of to pause, to exhale, to rest. When I prepared for my sabbatical this year, my initial image of rest leaned into a little fantasy. Lots of sleep, for instance, or perhaps sunning on the beach or poolside while taking many, many naps. However, wise elder colleagues asked me variations of a question I hadn't yet considered. They began to say things to me like, "What is your vision for your sabbatical? What do you hope to accomplish? These questions surprised me. They felt more like more things to do rather than rest. But as I thought about it, rest without intentionality can become avoidance or missed opportunity for renewal. And so I reflected, what did I want this time to be in alignment with my values, my beliefs, and my essential self? What would make this pause a true sabbatical, a time of rest and discernment for clarity and understanding about those matters most deeply upon my heart? And so this began to feel more like a journey to me, one during which it was important to arrive at an understanding of how the work of ministry might actually be sustainable for the long haul. A Sabbath rest that reestablishes the rhythms of care and accountability and renewal, not solely for myself, but for the congregation as well. The writer Joseph Campbell's model of the monomyth, the hero's journey, came to mind. It consists of 3 phases: departure, initiation, and return, defined as a call to leave, trials that transform, and a homecoming bearing an elixir for the community. Campbell's lens has provided a framework for understanding how humans tell stories across cultures, from legends and myths, and even to movies that we see today. Star Wars was built on George Lucas talking with Joseph Campbell about the monomyth, and he built Star Wars with that myth in mind. So is The Matrix, so is Harry Potter, and I could go on. At the same time, if you were listening very carefully to some of the movies I just named, Campbell's archetype centers separation, conquest, and the masculine arc of achievement. So when I considered my own sabbatical, I reframed it as a shero's journey. A path that values relational repair, interior transformation, negotiated power, and the reweaving of community ties. Where the hero might slay an external foe, the shero tends to wounds and restores balances and returns with gifts for communal life. And if we were to also consider the experiences of Black, Indigenous, Latino, Latina, Asian, and other people of color, we find heroes and sheroes who approach their journeys with still other perspectives, those that often prioritize reciprocal relations with people, with the land and ancestors, rather than a linear, heroic process. The centering of collective memory, group survival, relational obligations, power and place, and storytelling as resistance, once again shifting emphasis from individual triumph to communal continuity, repair, and responsibility. Departure for my sabbatical journey was necessary, not for escapism, but in order to learn how to return better, how to enter into new rhythms of care and accountability and renewal. And so I left amid a country in turmoil and a congregation that, even with my departure, still needed steady tending. I had to say no to additional appeals for action from activists within the Durham community, and that was hard. Old habits also followed me as I went on sabbatical. I found myself working to do one more thing while on vacation with my sisters. And even while on a transformative meditation retreat, I slipped up to my hotel room and worked between sessions, convinced I needed to tie up one more loose end for work. Such resistance, I learned, is a classic aspect of the hero's journey, the not letting go, the clinging to control, the clinging to busyness. Ironically, the thing that finally forced me into the intended rest I wanted was actually illness. I got COVID. And I got the kind of COVID where you take the test and it's positive, and it's not the COVID where you say, I'm positive, but no symptoms. I had all the symptoms. I was flat on my back, physically unable to do anything but breathe and sleep. I got the sabbatical I had planned in theory, but had not yet put into practice. So I surrendered, and I exhaled. Entering, as a result, into the phase of the journey known as initiation, I then spent the next several weeks becoming intentional about engaging with the people and the things that I loved. I went to jazz festivals. I love jazz. And I went to jazz festivals with friends. I saw plays. I spent time with people that I cared about and was fully present while I was with them. I took long walks in nature. I had gotten a fellowship to go to Minnesota and write for a month. And I spent time on one of the most improbable places that I ever thought I would be. It was a Catholic monastery, 2,400 acres with monks for an entire month. And it was wonderful. What was wonderful about it was that these Benedictine monks embodied and embraced inclusivity and welcome. When one of them asked what my pronouns were, and I said, she, they were like, okay. And I thought, this is the place I didn't expect to have that. I thought I was throwing out a challenge, but they just took it in, and it was great. I spent time with people at a pottery studio and learned how they actually made their own clay. And there was something about being in the presence of people who took rock and turned it into clay and took that clay and turned it into vessels that was so amazing to me. I spent time walking through woods. Most of that acreage they had was an arboretum. And so I spent time in nature, and it was so incredibly healing for me. I reconnected with the earth and the sky above in surprising ways. I met and appreciated new people who showed up in my life. I had conversations with elders from different communities and also accepted for the first time my role as an elder in the lives of others, and that my resistance to this role was actually not helpful. I wasn't ready to be called an elder. And so it wasn't helpful to them, nor was it helpful to me. And I also faced an internalized assumption I had carried for years, and that was that I felt the proof of my worth was equal to my busyness and my demonstrating that I was a hard worker. It has felt good to let that go and to instead cultivate a spaciousness and a stillness that has enabled me to face the actual grief and heartbreak I've been feeling at the state of our country and the world. And it has been important to feel and to face my broken heart. Because facing brokenness is actually not optional if you're about the honest work of renewal. And so I leaned also into metta practice, the loving kindness meditation. I am a practicing Buddhist, and this meditation has long been a lodestar for me. In metta, we offer simple intentions. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be awake and free. Saying these over and over for myself, and something has happened. Okay, I can't do what you just did, which you told me I could do, but saying these over and over for myself and all beings, those seen and unseen, without exception, without exception, without exception, has been as hard as all get out, but it has steadied me. It is not sentimental, nor is it a spiritual bypass. When I've felt anger or despair, the practice has returned me to a ground of compassionate agency. I was speaking to someone at the receiving line, on the receiving line at the end of the first service, and she said, I have had a hard time saying metta for all beings. And I said to her, start by saying it for yourself. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I be awake and free. Live into that for a while, and it will slowly open your heart, and you'll find the pathway to say it for others. Saying metta has kept me tethered to the work and the values I am actually committed to, especially when it is most difficult to embody these commitments. And so now I'm on the third phase of my sabbatical journey, which is the return. And I am quite conscious that I'll be back in my pulpit in 6 weeks, 6 Sundays from now. And at this stage of the Shero's journey, there are those who facilitate and help enable the return, and that's where you all at All Souls have come in. Being here in your community, sitting with your ministers and your staff, and receiving some of Reverend Marlin's wisdom one-on-one has actually lifted my spirits, renewed my vision, and inspired my heart. And I thank you, all of you. The elixir I shall be returning with is not a miraculous cure. It is instead a way of being. It's about attention and presence, vulnerability and joy, frequent moments of pause, and faithful practice are the medicine that allow me to return refreshed, not less broken, but better prepared to carry the burdens and the joys of ministry. The elixir is not a magic wand. It will not instantly erase grief or dismantle systemic injustice. Rather, these practices fuel the perseverance needed for sustained engagement. When we are steadied in our inner life, we are better able to do the outer work of organizing, of loving, and of resisting oppression. And so as I prepare to depart, I offer you 3 small practices from my sabbatical time. And the invitation to you is to do them daily for a month. Just try them out as a support in cultivating the ways of being that I've been naming. First is the 5-minute morning attention. Sit and just breathe for 5 minutes. And name 3 things you see, 3 things you hear, and 1 thing you feel. and offer one small intention for the day. And this all to train your attention toward presence rather than simply reaction. Second is to have at least one honest check-in. Each day, send one brief, truthful line to someone. I'm okay, but I could use a chat. Or thinking of you today. Or I really care about you, you're on my heart. This cultivates our vulnerability and our mutual care. And third is do one concrete act of care. Doesn't have to be big, just one specific, measurable thing to tend a relationship or a place. You can call a neighbor, you can water a plant, you can write a thank you note. Small acts, repeated, can actually reshape the world around us. Try them without focusing on getting them perfect. If you miss a day, begin again without judging yourself. Show self-compassion. The aim is incremental acts, the sort that accumulate into steadiness. And so, I bring no grand elixir in a vial. I bring instead a set of deeper convictions that rest is not indulgence, but preservation. That vulnerability creates kinship, and that steady, small practices produce a durable and a rich transformation. These are not substitutes for collective action, but they're the kayaks, if you will, that keep us afloat while we row toward justice together. So may we hold one another's hearts with courage. May we practice exhaling as faithfully as we inhale. May our congregations be places where people arrive broken and are met with listening ears and steady hands, where Sabbaths and sabbaticals are honored as communal necessities, and where return bears gifts, sometimes small, sometimes hidden, but gifts that sustain our common life. Ashe, Shalom, Shalom, blessed be. And it is good to be with you this morning. Amen.
Jacqueline, when you said exhaling together, Marlon and I, unplanned, took a deep breath together and exhaled. So let's do that together. Take a deep breath in and exhale. It is so good to be with you. A quick few short announcements, and let's get into a Halloween party. At All Souls, we know that voting is one of the most powerful things that can shape our communities and ensure that our voices are heard. This week's offering goes to the League of Women Voters for the Tulsa metropolitan area. It's a nonpartisan group. This organization encourages informed, active participation in government. It works to increase understanding around major public policies and different issues. Now, one of our traditions is to give away our plate. We do this each week. We're giving it to the league this week, and we do it as a way to live out our values of love and justice in the world. So please give generously when the plate comes around or light up that QR code. Now, it's a rainy day. There is no pickleball. Message delivered. Don't forget to pick up your pledge cards in the foyer area. And our Halloween festival is on the lower level. Join us right after this service. Stick around, have fun, bring your costumes, bring yourselves for good treats and spooky fun. For information on all the upcoming events, check out our website. Check the back of your order of service. Don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Have fun. And we now warmly, gladly accept our offering for the League of Women Voters for the Tulsa metropolitan area.
I don't hear anybody singing.
Well, if you have children in the program, they will be down on the far end of this on the first floor. You can pick them up unless they've been taken down. But check for them there. I think you're supposed to bring them down to the Halloween party. It's great to see some dressed up folks in costume. Have a wonderful Halloween, everyone. I'd like to ask my dear colleague to say some words to send us off as we extinguish our chalice. May this be a beautiful week. And, let me just say before we leave, next Sunday, we're going to be celebrating the Day of the Dead ceremony. So if you have a loved one who has passed, if you want to bring a photo or some token of memory, we're going to invite you to place those up here on the chancel next Sunday as part of that, and you can take them back with you afterward. But let us remember our covenant with those who've gone before us next Sunday. Thank you.
In the spirit of sabbatical practice, may you each pursue with intention the essential rest and discernment that you're in need of as a for yourself and for those you care about. Go in peace, go in love, go with courage, and go knowing that you are not alone. May it be so.